Therapy Army, let's be having you. It's absolutely baking out here. And Andy, he's got a bloody fan right next to him. He's got his socks on, he's got a t-shirt, and he's got that absolute shorts on like a true mank. He's got the socks on with the sandals like a true mank as well. We should be, there you go, he's showing the legs, he's giving you a bit of leg. He's having it. Listen.
You don't need OnlyFans on this channel.
Listen, big up to everybody. Love and light. I could be out there, honestly, topping up this beautiful melanin and getting the sunshine because the sun don't shine that often in Manchester. And it's been the biggest washout summer ever in Manchester. So, but we decided to be here with you. 60 short of 8,000. Let's go, people. Smash a like on the video. 61 of you, smash a like on the video. Saeed is going to be joining the sun. Andy, how are you? It's baking out here, lad. It's baking.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. The last rays of summer before the dark winter will be here in about 5 weeks. So take notice, enjoy it, and it'll have to hold you till next summer.
Oh, it is. That's how desperate we are, people. But we decided to join this with you. Netflix FC, Netflix special, mate. That's what this club is. Circus FC. But we're going to get into it. But today, actually, we would like to bring in front of the court the British media and those absolute muppet officials, FA officials, in front of the court. They need to come in front of the stand. We're calling a court today, people. British media clowns, every muppet and clown that represents the British football media, and those officials need to all come in and take the stand, because that's what we're judging today, people. So Therapy Army, strap in, because trust me, it's going to go off today. Andy, you watched the game yesterday, briefly, just to get a bit of your reaction. I saw your reaction at on the Stretford paddock. Big up Stretford paddock and them people there, right? Big up you on there. Talk to me, what, in terms of who you are and what you saw in that game and where you saw this season Manchester United in these 4 games.
Right. We have been sort of hit and miss for United this season so far. But I said, let's say, I've seen enough in the first half at Tottenham. The backs to the wall defensive display yesterday, little working hard away. I seen enough to say we're going to get it right on the road. It's a big upside. We're going to get it right on the road. Nuruddin. I think we're getting there, and it's just keeping calm. Let's say things will throw spanners in the works with controversy. And let's say, but performance-wise, we're getting there. On away, we could have, yes, we should have performed better at Old Trafford in the other 2 games. But away from home, you've seen little bits there. Like I say, first half against Tottenham, the game yesterday, Arsenal, nothing special. They've got so gassed about themselves yesterday. They've won the Champions League again, and they think, like I say, they were nothing special. And I seen the reaction from I messaged Robbie. I sent him the slides. No reply from Robbie. You know, says it all about Robbie. Respect, I said, respect Robbie, but explain that. No reply. Typical.
Listen, Saeed, big up to you, bro. How you doing, bro? We've just been chatting.
Not too bad,
245 man. Straight Jacket podcast, people.
Appreciate it, man. Big up to you. Yeah, big up to United Real Therapy, man. Big up Andy as well. Listen, I'm all right, you know. I can't lie. I woke up better this morning. The sunshine. I went for a walk. It's last night anyway, but I went for a walk today in the sunshine. And it's a nice day, man. It's a very, very beautiful nice day, you know.
Beautiful
so if it was raining this morning and it was piss wet through, I think I would have stayed in bed all day just because of the fact that I just like, you know what, it's not worth it coming out. But today was worth it coming out. But
it's the energy, man, let's see what the sun energizes you guys. That's what it does. Get out in the air, breathe it in, because it won't be here forever.
Breathe it in, yeah, absolutely, man. But other than that, I'm all good, Nuruddin, man. How are you, man?
Yo, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thank you. Like I said, we could be out there in the sunshine, all of us. The sun don't shine that often in Manchester. We've had one of the worst summer. We've had the worst July in my life, anyway, in my lifetime. Wet July ever. And August felt like a winter. but September's kicking off to a really beautiful. So may it continue. Like in the like Khalees said, big up Khalees Rebellion Lassie. He says we're having an Indian summer. So all day I'm here for that Indian summer, mate. And autumn, hopefully. I'm having that summer in the autumn as well. Global climate crisis and all that. It is what it is, people. But listen, today we're gonna get into it, people. We're gonna get into it. We're not mincing our words. And today we're in court. We're in court. The British media, the football British media, all of them have to come in front of the stand, and so do what they call PGMO, whatever they're called, the officials. They need to come in as well, because I'm sorry to say, but honestly, on this channel, outside the stadium, I'll have a moan. I'll come out, see Andy or Saeed or the lads who go to the games, and we're like, the referee was terrible today. But that's all we say. But there's a rule for Manchester United fans. You grew up with this rule. It's an unwritten rule. And you say, Manchester United cannot leave the game to the officials. We've got to win outright, because usually nobody wants Manchester United to win anything. So we already understood that. We grew up where the most hate. It says that on the Stretford end. Hated the door, never ignored. We're hated.
Hated the door, never ignored.
Yeah, it's there. That's what our mantra of our club is. Everybody understands that. But I'm sorry to say, I could take one bad decision yesterday. I can take two, but three in 90 something plus minutes, in 100 minutes or whatever it was. I can't take it. I'm telling you now, Andy, if that is Casemiro on Odegaard, he's getting a straight red. Straight red. The ball is behind Saka, but because Saka's a nice lad, isn't he? He's a nice guy, and he's a nice lad. You know what I mean? Listen, it's a football game, mate. He could have hurt Bruno Fernandes, and then he gets a yellow, and they don't go too far to check properly. That was a stamp. Nope. Players have been sent off for less this season, sent off for less, and people say, you know that Casemiro gets the ball, but then gets his studs into the guy's shin. Here, Saka is nowhere near the ball. Bottle job VAR. So I knew straight away when I saw that. I was like, are you kidding me? What even took the biscuit from me? The offside, looking at the wrong camera. But it's Andy's a big fan of WWE. Is that Gabrielli, centre half for Arsenal, doing a bloody what? What is he doing? Hulk Hogan. He did a Hulk Hogan flip on Highland, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what are we talking about? Saeed, I saw it in real time. I'm like, has he slipped or has he been brought down? You see it. He's got his whole arm across.
His manhandled him, Nordin. His manhandled him, man. His manhandled.
It's a wrestling
move. I don't even watch wrestling anymore, and I still know that's a wrestling move. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that's a clear penalty. But again,
Andy, what is that? Andy, what is that in terms of wrestling move? What do you call that?
A sideward slam, something like that. Yep. You know what I mean? Drag down, bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might as well just pulled he's done a people's elbow on Highland while he was at it. In real time, I didn't think it was, but as I've seen it,
exactly.
I seen my brother's reaction, looked at it again. Yeah, Stonewall pen. I just wonder, guys, if we've been punished for what happened against Wolves, and in the game since with the controversy of the pen against Tottenham, they're looking the other way. They really are looking the other way, and they will say, "No, we're not. No, we're not." Well, I'll tell you what, mate. There's a strong case that you are.
Andy, I'm going to come to you first. I'll go to Saeed in a minute. What was the worst one for you? What was the worst one out of those three? Because to me, they're all as bad as each other, but what was the worst one for you? What was the hardest for you to take?
The winning goal. The goal from Garnacho. It was onside. I'm celebrating. You say, I was absolutely going mad, thinking we're all going mad. And then you're like, hang on, something's not right here. And then you listen to the officials, you listen to Gary Neville, Mike Dean. Oh, it's okay. Then they say, how can somebody sat 200 miles away or 200 meters away in a van looking at a monitor tell us that is offside? There's other ones, like say, look at Saturday, Manchester City, their second goal. If that is disallowed, Fulham are at 1-1. And they go in, the team talks different. They're hard done by. Now, they've been outdone by a few times, Fulham, and I can see why. So how can you like say, "Oh, that's a goal," and that is not a goal? So Anthony Taylor, I remember the video he did. Was it a few years ago? He was filmed in Manchester on BT Sport. He was asking for understanding and compassion from the fans because he was interviewed by a BT Sport interviewer, and it was like, say, it's out there on Twitter. You can see it. Please try. Please try to understand and be reasonable with us. We're only human. Yeah. Oh, mate. No. Is it any wonder Jose Mourinho flipped his lid and half of Roma did at the airport? Is it any wonder, Anthony Taylor? Look, we understand you're in a high-pressure situation, but if you keep looking the other way, what is the point of being fair in football? There is no such thing as fair in football. Mo Salah, Olympic diving champion, offside. McAllister getting sent off, overruled. You got you got last week at Newcastle as well. It was not sending off. Of course, it was a sending off. Yo, I would rather scrap VAR and have the controversy. That's what drives football. There's too much technology now in football, guys. It's too much. I was all for the ball. I was all for the ball over the line with the chip. But this is getting beyond. I remember Drogba. Nuruddin, say you would have been there. 2010. Drogba, 6 miles offside. He was in Moss side, Drogba, when that ball got played. He was in Moss side and he scored. And that's the controversy. But that's the controversy that drives you to be a better team. And we won the league the following season. I would rather stick with that.
Yeah.
You're mute.
But you know what, though, man? I just think for me, the penalty one is just clear as daylight, man. The Saka one, I think, okay, it evens itself out. Lindelof was obviously, he had a high foot as well. But
for me, I understand that. That was a red card. I think that was a red card.
Yeah.
For Lindelof.
Well, exactly. It was reckless. But for me, the penalty is clear as daylight, man. It's absolutely clear as daylight. And did they even check the VAR, or did they even look at it or nothing like that? Again,
just quickly, Saeed, quickly. They check quickly.
So I mean, but then these are the kind of ones that you need to go and look at it on the monitor. It needed a monitor on that one.
Saeed, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's there.
Look at his lines as well, man.
Yeah. Look. This is against Liverpool last season. Remember, Martial plays it. It's the correct because the way the line is. But the way they take this camera angle and line, that makes it look like he is offside, but he isn't. When you see it from the other angle, this player here, Gabriele, is ahead. By the time the ball leaves Casemiro's foot, he is onside. And I just honestly cannot imagine. Listen, 100%. He doesn't really argue against referee decisions, Ten Hag. But Ten Hag was fuming because I'm not going to lie to you. When you saw it on the halfway line photo, you can clearly see it. You can clearly see he's onside. He's onside. Saeed, you know me. Even at the game, I don't celebrate. Soon as I saw the replay, and there I was jumping for joy. And I'm like, of course he's onside. He's onside. And then they go, no, he's offside. I'm like, nah, mate. Sorry. So I'll ask you the same question, Saeed. Out of the three, which one was the worst? Was it this one that was the worst?
For me, it's a penalty, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a penalty.
The penalty was the worst.
The goal here. Yeah, that was a clear penalty. But this one here, again, when you look at the lines, like, I'm just thinking, who's drawing these lines? And what angle are you showing it from? Again, different angles give you different perspective. You know what I mean? So that angle there is onside. The other one is deemed offside. So it comes down to, again, you know what I mean? The way that they're now drawing these lines and what angles they're drawing these lines from. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It goes to the point now where I'm a bit like Andy, where, go back to what it used to be. If you're going to do all these lines, go back to what it used to be. Because at least then fans can be like, okay, fair enough then. We got no control. And we don't have to see. Sometimes when you see these bad decisions, you're like, you know what? Do you want to see these bad decisions? Do you really want to see them? You know what I mean? Like, do you really want to see how bad they are, how incompetent they are? So, yeah, man, I just think for me, the whole day, man, you know what I mean? This referee was just... He was on a mad one, mate. And Anthony Taylor, normally, you know what I mean? You're kind of thinking to yourself, he's an experienced referee. But again, naive. And the VAR, it's a joke. Absolute joke, man.
Every game he referees, there's something goes wrong against Manchester United.
Drama, yeah,
I'm telling you, he's always... And the man pretends that he's an Altrincham fan. People have seen him People I know have seen him with a City shirt. People have seen him with a City shirt. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Eric, I'm gonna ask you the question, Said. I'll stay with you. Why do you think the media? Remember when that penalty that could have been for Wolves, it became debates. It was all over the back pages for a whole week, a week and a half of debate in this country.
Yep.
Said, no, I won't mind if there's one call. Said, I don't mind if it's a one call. Yeah, it was one bad call given against Manchester United yesterday. It's 1, 2, and 3. So, Saeed, what's happened to these phone-ins on these radio stations, and what's happened to the back of these papers? What's going on here? Why do you think it's what is going on?
Because obviously United, it clicks in it. You know what I mean? If you put something against United, and you obviously if we get away with it and whatnot, the kind of the media attention, everyone wants to hate on Man United. That's what it becomes. Everyone wants to vilify Man United. The other way, it doesn't sell as well. You know what I mean? It's like United fans are not tuning into to hear about TalkSport talk about, oh, we should have had this. It's the other way around. Right. So it draws Man United back in. Same way with Sky. Sky Sports were talking about Man United spending when the Newcastle game was on. So I was like, hold on a minute. Why are they talking about Man United again?
I've seen the tweet you put up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you know what I mean? Again, like everything it sells well and whatnot. But ultimately, man, I just think for me, these media they take advantage of what the circus is at Man United. That's ultimately it. And that's all I can say, really. To be honest with you.
I'll go back to the Manchester derby. Rashford, clear as day offside. We got the winner. God, there was a national inquiry. It was absolute. It almost got political. It could have. You could have took that to 10 Downing Street, and the absolute the hatred towards Man United. And a few days later, we played Crystal Palace. And I think it was Scott McTominay got brought down, Stonewall pen.
Oh, yeah.
And they looked the other way.
Oh, the other way.
And Crystal Palace equalised about 5, 6, 7 minutes later, and we dropped 2 points. So, borderline. All right, tell me this. Saka's winner at the Emirates last season, last minute. What's the bloody difference? What's the bloody difference, Robbie? Hey, what's the difference between that line in the last minute and yesterday? What is the difference?
Yeah.
Who's drawing the lines?
But Andy, I'll ask you the same question. Where are the media silence on this? Because I won't understand if it was just one call. It was 3 ludicrously obvious calls. Where are they?
Oh, do you know what? This is why I don't. This is why I've cancelled Sky. I don't want it in my house. No, seriously, it's a waste of time because every Monday it's about controversy. You got 2 guys, an ex-referee, and you got one who looks like Joe Knighter, an ex-Scouser. You know what? Noureddin will know what I'm going on about. I seen the clip today on YouTube. 2 Joe Knighters. It's about controversy. They'll never. If it was Liverpool, it's a national scandal. It's national. It's not fair. It's not fair. Like it should have been a penalty. Like guys, it's not fair. You know what? So it's just about controversy. They'll look the other way just to get clicks. This is what I said on Paddock last night. And on Saeed, bad media journalism gets rewards. If you do your jobs right, you'd be up for awards. They look the other way anytime on any other decision. I remember, was it when Casemiro got sent off against Southampton? A few days later, Anthony Taylor, same guy on VAR. I think it was
Chelsea. It was Chelsea.
Yeah.
It was Chelsea and Leicester, and they missed.
A player got crippled on VAR, and they never went in on it. They never looked the other way, and the poor lad ended up on crutches. You know what I mean? You go some of the decisions like last season as well. Remember the Brighton player, Fabinho took him out. He's at Brighton, and he left the stadium on crutches. Not one bit of media coverage on it. Not one bit of media coverage. I tell you what. If Golden Boy Haaland gets cropped like that, it's a national fucking scandal. You watch Sky go in on the accused. You know what? They'll lynch him. It'll be an absolute lynch mob if somebody took out Haaland like that. If that, because it's Golden Boy Saka, it doesn't matter. He's okay. But I tell you what, so if Ireland did that, or he was a victim of a tackle like that, it'll be fucking uproar. Absolute uproar.
Yeah, listen, there's over 300 of you in here. Let me just get the super chat. Big up, Jerome.
I like the video, people.
T Green.
Come on.
Smash a like on the videos. 80 short of 8,000. Everyone expected us to lose 4-5, and the fact that we basically were in for the most of the game. We could have won it if VAR didn't do his job. Speaks volumes. 100%. Big up, Jerome. And he comes back here. He says, if we wouldn't have challenged the red card on Casemiro last season, like the Scousers did to McAllister, Casemiro would have been banned for the rest of us. Trust me. He would have been. The reason why we didn't appeal, and to me, the worst one was when he felt Hughes' collars, Crystal Palace. Hughes had to come out and go, that wasn't a joke. He didn't choke me. Yeah, he didn't choke me. But with the milliseconds under a camera, you can make anything look as terrible as it is. But I'm sorry to say, the media, for me, the agenda is there. The hatred. You have to understand some of the people in the media. Fergie ruined their fucking childhoods. Oh. All their childhoods were ruined. They were ruined. TV execs of this day today, producers on these radio stations, their childhoods were ruined. So now, anytime when it's to stick it to Manchester United, they've got to stick it to Manchester United. But anytime VAR bottles it, and I promise you, I will not be making a show about it. Like I said to you, I'm moaning about referees and go, referee was bad. He was against us by giving so many fouls against us, but no, the fouls for us. That's what I usually complain about. But the blatancy of the people in VAR, because if the VAR didn't exist, I could say, you know what? Maybe Anthony Taylor didn't see it. Even though he's a dodgy referee when it comes to us. He's like that Andre Maradona as well. He's always dodgy. He's been dodgy for decades, right? So I look at some of the reasons. I think Fergie ruined the referees used to inspire to. At Old Trafford, we've got a song. The ref says shite. Fergie's right. The ref says shite. That's what we sing.
We sing it. I love singing that, by the way.
We sing it, right? We sing it. Because why? We know it. Manchester United Football Club, Ferguson, we ruined people in the 90s. From the early 90s to what? 2013. Manchester United and Ferguson ruined them. 13 Premier League titles, as enough. We ruined their childhoods, their later, like they're in their 20s, some of them in their teenage years, and now it's revenge time, innit? So when I see this media, I'm not shocked at that, and I'm not surprised. Because even as a talking point, they would be like, you know what, telling the truth. And I see that Dermot Gallagher. Well,
but you know what they've got? They've got on Sky Sports, Nuruddin. They've
got
what's that guy?
Absolute Muppet Dean.
Mike Dean. So that tells you it's a drama, though, Nuruddin. I feel like for me, VAR and what they're doing, it's all part of drama. It's all part of the coverage. It wants to make the Premier League exciting. So it's making the Premier League exciting because it's a talking point.
Mike Dean came out and said, "Oh, I bottled it because I didn't want to send my mate to the VAR because he had a tough game. The two managers were already yellow carded, and he was going up Spurs against Chelsea. And because the guy pulled the guy's hair, Cucurella's hair, I couldn't send him to the screen. I was saving my mate. What sort of a disgrace is that? Why are you hiring someone like that? That cost Chelsea manager the job. That one draw in that game, the momentum that could have carried. And he can come out there. He's a Liverpool fan, but he blags. He's a Tranmere fan, isn't he? He blags it. He pretends, oh, yeah, I like Tranmere. I know a lot of people support both. But he comes out, and then now he's a celebrity. Like the other Muppet who went and got his hair done. What's his name? Listen, I accept it. I accept it, mate. It's gone. The hair's gone. I'm digging it.
Hey, mine's going as well, bro. I'll be there with you soon.
Mike Clattenburg. Remember Mike Clattenburg? 1 minute, he's got the biggest patch, CZ patch. Next minute, season was over. He came back in the new season with a Latin stallion hair wavy stuff. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He also came out and said it was, the Chelsea, it was a Chelsea Spurs game. You know, when Chelsea stopped Spurs from winning the league that time. He said, I should have sent this guy off. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So, of course, these people, Anthony Taylor, because people think he's a mank, he's going to be United. So he does the opposite. He's like Gary Neville on commentary. He does the opposite. You don't want to be accused of being this. At the end of the day, shame on TalkSport, shame on 5 Live, Shame on every other so-called journalist, like Andy said. Shame on you all. You're absolute disgrace. There's zero objectivity because as a professional journalist, you're supposed to go the objectivity. And I can count on my finger how many people. I swear that I respect Saeed. Henry Winter is one of them. Henry Winter is one of the only journalists that I respect. He comes out every week when we do a protest. He tweets about the protest. He tweets about it saying, this is what's happening. So at the end of the day, yesterday to me was the biggest farce that I have seen this season. I'm not seeing this. 3 calls. One I could take 3 times.
You know what, bro? It'll even itself out. And believe me,
No, but
Andy,
it won't.
you know what, Andy?
It will. It
you know what, Andy? I'm still waiting for Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes perfectly good goal against Porto. I'm still waiting for that to even itself out. It's not even out. I'm still waiting for that Chelsea Drogba being offside. Drogba being offside to even itself out.
Was it last season, Arsenal against Brentford? Brentford equalised and they were spitting their dummy out. They're spitting their dummy out and they got an apology. So where's that apology? You apologised to Wolves. Where's that apology? Because VAR and the media look the other way because of we are Man United. We have ruined people's childhoods. And I tell you what, if Qatar come in, we're going to do it again. The next generation of brats will have their childhood spoiled. Believe me.
It's crazy. Honestly, people, please tell us in the comments if we're overreacting. I can take one bad decision in a game. I can't take 3 in a big game like that. In a game where we performed the best we've played in the season. We look like a team, Andy. Let's get into the game. We look like a team. For the first time this season, Andy, for the first time this season, 80 minutes in a game, we look like a team. But then, Andy, please, I need you to honest and gut reaction when you saw that clown Maguire and Johnny Simmerframe Evans coming on the pitch. You tell me what other football club would have had him in the Premier League? Not even a fucking championship would bring out Johnny Evans.
Well, like you say, we're Netflix FC, aren't we? You got to stick to what we got to throw on whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, my granddad in his Zimmerframe, God rest him, could have done a better job than Johnny Evans.
Someone said to me, Andy, that he's the new Tom Huddleston. So you know how Tom Huddleston is now player manager or player coach and that. That's what they're doing for Johnny Evans so they can get him into the under 21s and he can become black. But why though? Like to the detriment of Man United? Because then yesterday he played and he could play against Bayern Munich. Who knows? Bayern Munich, we could be seeing Johnny Evans playing the Champions League.
You know what? He could get rinsed by Harry Kane. He really could get rinsed.
Oh,
listen,
my days.
You know what,
I can't believe it.
Andy, to top it all off, you got fans who were saying Ten Hag wanted Johnny Evans. He wanted Kim Min-jae. He wanted Pavard. He wanted Talibo. All of a sudden, of all the centre-halves out there, Ten Hag saying, you know what? Get me that slow guy that nobody wanted. Not even a team in the Championship or League One. Go and get me that player.
He only got a short-term contract because his wife works for the channel.
He works for the MUTV. I said that from day one, and everyone was laughing at me. I said that from day one. His wife works for MUTV, so she probably put a good word for him. And John Murtough and all them lapped it up, probably. You know what I mean? So end of the day, it's jobs for the boys. It's it's mates rates. It's Sentiment FC. I said it from day one. Sentiment FC, man. That's what we are. I'm telling you now. I don't know who. Someone will be available right now, yeah, and Man United will go get him. There's a guy apparently. They were saying, yeah, there's a Dutch player. It's called El Ghazi, and apparently he's a free agent, and one Premier League club have come in for him, and he's a former Ajax player as well. and I went, if Man United dare go and get El Ghazi, because Ten Hag knows him, and you know what, he'll play in the team. If honestly, man, stop this. This sentiment has to stop, man. But it comes from the fact that United are cheap. Buying Evans is free. Sorry, getting Evans is free versus buying a 25 to 30 million player. That's what we have to understand. It comes down to Glazenomics. It comes down to clubs saving money when they don't need to. It comes down to backing the manager, and they haven't done it. So,
Saeed, I'm sorry.
That's what it comes down
to. Or a reserve centre half. It stops the growth of a reserve centre half who come through our youth. It stops him. Why don't you give them young guys a chance, see if they've got the bottle? At least got the bottle. Like, why? Why are we going back to Johnny Evans after 8 years? He's slower.
If anything, they should have offered him a defensive coach job, not promoting to the bloody first team. You know, if you're going to bring him back into the club, add him to the coaching staff to teach people how to defend. Because, I say, he was a good defender in his day. So, they say, but you don't put him into the team. You bring him into the defensive coach staff. Yeah, that's fine. That would have been fine. But no, you give him a short-term contract. He didn't do well on the tour. And like you say, this was probably agreed.
We should have stopped it there.
This was agreed when he first moved. And they probably going to say, we'll announce it on deadline day.
Of course it was, Andy. I said about it. People are giving me stick going, Johnny's a nice lad. You know what? I know many 100 million billion nice people. That don't mean that they're going to fucking play for Manchester United.
Yeah, I'm a nice lad. Saeed's a nice lad. You're a nice lad. But I'm not going to get a contract with Man United.
Also, guys, yeah. It's also the fact that, you know, people were saying it's only a short-term deal. It wasn't. The amount of people that said to me, Saeed, why are you panicking? It's a short-term deal. You don't need to be negative about everything. I said, no, because I know he'll get a deal. I said it to people. I know he'll get a deal. And then all of a sudden later on, it's like, well, he's 6th choice centre-back. I said, no, hold on a minute. When injuries come into play, he'll become 1st choice centre-back. And that's what's happening right now. Varane is injury prone. We should have known that. That's why we should have got backup. Lindelof ain't good enough. We should have known that. That's why he
wanted Kim Min-jae. He wanted Pavard. He wanted Tolibo. He scouted these 3 specific signings. His 1st choice, Saeed, was Kim Min-jae. 2nd choice was Pavard. 3rd choice was Tolibo. But who do we send up with? Yeah. We sent up with Slabhead, right? Slabhead's there, right? And now guaranteed to be picked in the Euros as well. Guaranteed. He doesn't have to play a minute to be playing for England, which is absolutely atrocious. Ole Gunnar Southgate is a disgrace. Absolute Southgate is a disgrace. Coward, he is a disgrace. He is an absolute disgrace. Back in the day, it used to be a privilege to play for England or any national team. That the players who are on form there and then get an opportunity. And I look at people like Warcross, who plays for West Ham, one of the best set-piece specialists in the Premier League, doesn't get a sniff. But Phillips, who sat on the bench all year at City, is getting a sniff. It's absolutely shocking. Big up Man UFC Realist TV. Big up Mick. It's another one word. Robbed by Glazers. Robbed by the FA. Robbed by FAR. Things come in threes, mate.
Everyone, yeah.
Things come in. That's what happens. This is what we are. We're not a victim, right? But the way we're owned and the way what things happen is crazy.
Fairness, man, Nordin.
And you know, listen, and Andy, I've got to ask you this. You know, he's telling when Gary Neville's like, I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm not going to stop talking about it. You know, Sky are pressuring him not to talk about the owners. You know that. Why would he say that?
But they know he's that's why he knows he's in control of the situation. He knows that, you know, he doesn't need to stop what he's saying, because then again, Sky's finished. Without Gary Neville on Sky, come on, man. And Jamie Carragher, they're the 2 leading most people. And probably Roy Keane.
You know, the club and Sky have come to an agreement, bitching and moaning, like you'll get access if you block out the Glazer chance. You know, like this what they didn't say. Gary Neville is a loose cannon. Much as I think he's a fucking bellend now. I respect him. But what he said last night, going missing again in North London, man, I remember many a time you went missing.
Facts.
Yeah, facts.
I remember him missing at a main road. I remember him fucking missing at main road. Missing, giving them fucking goals.
Yeah,
I remember his handballs.
You went missing against West Brom, then you retired a couple of days later. Yeah, you went missing many a time, Gary Neville. So this is what, I mean, it's about to cause controversy. Like you say, is he still a United fan? Does he give a fuck about United anymore? Or is he too like you say, he's interested in his media career? Fair enough. I respect him on that. And he's got his hands in Salford. That's fine. But it's say little digs like that. Even my brother got wound up. It's little digs like that, man.
Little digs
pisses you off.
Simple. You know what it is though, man. And this is the thing, man. I think for me, ultimately, you know, the club and the way it's run and everything that's included in it, like it shouldn't have got to this situation, man. Like Donny should have left. We should have allowed certain players to leave early in the window. Why are we dilly-dallying around McTominay leaving at the end of the window? Why was there kind of rumors about McTominay leaving. Why did he come at the start when it was a situation where he was leaving? Like everything just sounded last minute, and that's what the football club do anyway.
And this is, I say, I agree with you. So much crap that came out last night. And this afternoon as well, I've been watching other stuff. The anti-stuff that's been coming as well. We're just a fucking Netflix. We had just a fucking Netflix.
I said it. Andy, I said it about a year, 8 months ago to Saeed, and people were laughing in the comments. I said it on the straight chat. I said, Manchester United is a Netflix special. And the one that never ends. It never ends. We always get commission for a new season.
It's like Lost. It's like that film,
never
that
ends.
TV program Lost. Yeah. There was never an ending. They never got home. They were all dead in the first place. They were all dead in heaven. It'll never end with this club.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly, it's shocking. Everywhere I look at it, I think listen, at the end of the day, criticize the manager. But then I look at this thing now, this charade with Anthony. Like, she's got photos of how her fingers are all wrapped up. It's just like, oh, you know what?
Something's giving me the gut feeling that there's something into this, man. Because you know what I mean. Like I said, man, you always got to understand where the victim's coming from first. You have to always hear his side of the story, and obviously we're hearing his side of the story. But the fact that she's gone and now spoken to the police and Man United, she's serious about this, man, guys. So this ain't no joking matter. A lot of people will say, oh, like, come on, put everything aside and have a serious conversation. Man United right now is a shambles, man, on and off the football club. As well, I always look at Man United, and I get it, things happen behind closed doors, but do we have like a council team or people who are in the football club that understand what the players are doing and because, I know the guy from, the liaison officer for Man City is an Asian guy. Yeah. I don't know if you know him. I know him. Course. And you know what? I speak to him, and the way he is with the players and that, like, do you know what's going on? And it's a family. I don't know. Man United, is it really a family? Like, do they just let people do what they want to do? Like, what? Like, do they know what the whereabouts? Because like I said, no, we know things in Andy probably knows things in Manchester, and you think, what's he doing here? What's he doing there? And you don't say you don't say everything and everything like that, but you're just thinking, oh dear, like, what's going on?
Like, Saeed, I'm not gonna lie to you. The club is, from head to toe, is toxic. Because the people who own the football club give it to bankers that know nothing about football, and we've never recovered. We go from bad decision to ricochet. And now you got, like you said, that talk spot you were saying a straight jacket, thinking, oh yeah, it's the manager. Right, listen, at the end of the day, it's simple. The manager wanted certain things happening. He wanted to sell certain players. He couldn't make it clearer to the football club to get rid of Maguire. Maguire's still here. He doesn't rate Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay's still here. He doesn't rate Sancho. Sancho is still here. He doesn't rate Martial. Martial's still here. So getting rid of youth players, because the Glazonomics, all those other players have big contracts and big wages. Yeah. And for Glazonomics, for them to be propped on the New York Stock Exchange, on paper, Andy, it's not about the player's quality or player's attitude. It's about the asset on a spreadsheet. That's what we run. So what the hell do you as United fans and us as United, what the hell do we expect when we run on purely spreadsheet? That's what we run on.
It won't surprise me if they start stripping the cupboards inside Old Trafford. They'll sell the crockery. They'll sell the fucking toilet seats. They'll strip it all to maintain a spreadsheet, like you say. They'll strip it from the inside out now. We'll have no plumbing inside Old Trafford, but we won't have a roof. We won't have a roof. We'll be playing in an open field before you know it. Listen what I mean? They'll strip it to the bone, mate.
Oh.
Right. Listen, Saeed, genuinely, what did you think about the way Arsenal celebrated? I saw the small-time mentality football club. I'm not going to lie to you. They celebrated like it was May. Like they've got 6 points in the Premier League title.
You know what it is? I get the celebrations from the players. I think the fans have been a bit over the top, man. You know what I mean? I see Liv's Ledge, be coming at me and all these Arsenal fans. I'm like, listen, man, have you won the league? Like, have you genuinely won the league?
No, listen, genuinely, I don't blame the fans. I don't blame them. But the way the player and Arteta was celebrating, I'm like, wow.
No, I think it was because it was the last minute, and ultimately they didn't play well, Nuruddin. Sometimes we don't play well. No, but also you got to remember they didn't play well. and they won the game. Sometimes when you don't play well and you know it should have been a draw, I feel like for me, that's why they went to that length of celebrating. I don't think it was because obviously they're trying to put someone in and they think they're going to win the league. It's because they knew that game, Manchester United should have got a draw. And that's ultimately comes down to that, man. They got that goal. The first goal was a jammy goal, man. Let's be honest. Declan Rice just absolutely slams it in and then it deflects off. I think it was Evans or whoever. The keeper, for me, should do better on his near post. But again, deflection. I get it. But then also, you got to remember, the second goal was a shambles, man. I don't know what we're doing. We get caught wide open, and obviously it's just it's damage limitation at the end, man.
He left me right here. It's left me right here. Johnny Evans, and listen, if you watched Arsenal from last season, yeah, and this guy now, this guy who's supposed to be a set beat expert, if you know that Arsenal from last season, these tactics have been they always overload the back post. So you watch them and played against them all last season, and you know that's what they're going to do. They were doing that all game. Harry Maguire and Evans are on it, and both of them are too fucking slow to react. That's why we conceded that goal, because both of them should nowhere anywhere near this football club. Saeed, I swear to God, I wrote on your television, or Andy, when you were watching it, the biggest, loudest cheer when Maguire came in from the Arsenal fans. Did you hear it?
Yeah, even when he played balls as well, they're mocking him. Everyone's mocking him.
Saying, "Oh, Harry Maguire." That's what they're singing. That's what they were singing, guys. Oh, Harry Maguire. So they were loving the fact that he was obviously there. That's what we are dealing with right now.
It shows we're we're a laughing stock. It really does. We are a drama upon drama. If it ain't toxic, it's rotten to the core.
And this is the thing. I think for me, listen,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go on, sorry. No, go for it.
No, go ahead. No,
I just think for me, it comes.
Go ahead. There's a bit of a delay, but go ahead, sorry.
The delay on my part, I think it was okay. No, I think for me, it comes down to one of them where, Manchester United, certain positions, Ten Hag is still trying to piece it together. It's only now Amrabat should come in. The striker situation sorted out right now. Mount is injured. That's not helped him in that aspect. But he's still figuring out certain pieces of what's going on. When he gets his pieces in, that's when you can say, right, we can be super critical about Ten Hag. But now he's still not got his players still in there. Amrabat is not there. How many outfield players were there from Ten Hag's this season? It was only nobody with it. Nobody.
It was Unana. It was only
but Onana's not outfield though. So it's the same team as last season.
Haaland. It was Haaland.
But Haaland came off the bench though. Haaland came off the bench.
That was it.
So you see what I mean? So this is why I can't put too much blame on Ten Hag. I really can't. You have to give him time to develop his squad. And now this season will be a big indication of that. But you know what, man? It's just frustrating, man, because I felt like we deserved something from that game. At least a draw, man. We deserved a draw.
Well, this is what Red Dan's saying. Red Dan, don't ignore the poor performance of the players. We called the players out. We said it already. Bruno went missing. Casemiro was non-existent majority throughout the game. And Rashford, other than score, did fuck all. And Anthony did fuck all as well. Anthony, other than chase back a couple of times, we didn't buy you fucking to chase back, mate. That's the minimum. After you put that badge on your fucking chest, that's the minimum. What I wanted to do is make a difference where it counts. And that kid came on in 15 minutes and made a whole world of change because he said it. He said in the interview, he said, I want to plead for this badge.
So let's see Casemiro get hold of him. Yeah,
I've seen that. That was beautiful.
I think that was more for Casemiro than for him. He was already pumped.
Yeah.
The kid was already pumped. That was for Casemiro tried to get himself pumped himself.
Yeah.
But Andy, what did you think about his performance?
I thought he did more than 15 minutes. He did more than 15 minutes than Marcus Rashford has done in 4 games this season.
Facts.
And that's what it is. I mean, my man in the match yesterday was Diego Dalot. Because he was top. Saka was in his pocket all game. Wan-Bissaka was, let's say, that's a different story. He was all over the place. But it was a good defensive performance, but then we lost Martinez. It's sort of like you inviting trouble when you bring on Harry Maguire and you bring on Johnny Evans But
Oh,
with some of the comments, though, if we keep playing like this, well, you take the performances, then what I said before, we'll get it right. We'll get it right. You know what I mean? We could limit ourselves. Look, do you know what? We could lose to the top 6 and win the rest of the away games. And where does that put you? Top 2.
no, it could us where we started last season. Yeah, we
where's that
didn't
put
win
you?
any
Top 2.
away games.
That
Yeah,
puts you top 4. You could lose to the big 6 away and still have a good away record, and you're still in the top 4, and you still had a good season. You got a trophy in the cabinet. So if
but we still need to improve
keeping it going.
Yeah, we need to improve though. Big up Man UFC Realist TV. Go and check him out. Check the channel out. We sold 22 to make way for the Fletcher twins. That tells you everything you need to fucking know about the football club, people. That's all you need to know about the football club. Big up to Jerome. Says everyone expected us to lose. No, it's that one I got already. It's the last one. Big up. He says, remember when Jose won the Europa League? He had a list of 6 players he wanted, and he got Dalot, Lee Grant, and Fred. There we go. There we go. And on the Sancho thing, it's simple for me. Ten Hag should not have proven under the bus in that say, and Sancho should not have reacted like that. But at the end of the day, I don't agree. Like in a game like that, where managers sometimes use to throw a player under the bus, but keep it in house. But there is nothing you can tell. He's frustrated. He does not rate Sancho. He does not want Sancho. He does not want Maguire. He does not want Donny van der Beek. He does not want Anthony Martial. So the guy is frustrated. But then also, to me, Sancho has got right. If he's been all right in training, he's got right, because I won't mind if Anthony's pulled up fucking trees. If Rashford has pulled up trees this season, or if Martial's pulled up trees, none of them have. So, I know, Andy, you're old school. I know you're going to think, you know what, manager says something and you got to keep you quiet. Take the manager, medicine and then
that's fair.
Back the manager. Fair. To me, I back the manager, I back Erik ten Hag, but then I also agree that Sancho, if it's not true that he's been trying it, because I won't mind. I would not be with Sancho if, let's say, Rashford, Martial, and Anthony have scored 10 goals between them this season, and we won all 4 games. I'm like, you know what, lad? You've got to fight tooth. The levels have got to be up for you to get in this team. They haven't. They've been fucking shit, Andy. Let's be right here. They've been absolutely stunk the place out. So for me, if that's what I'm thinking, and then the media all jumping on his bandwagon, to me, if it didn't come out, I'd be like, wow. So that means all the stories about Dortmund and City, all that is true. But give me your 2 pence.
I think he's well within his rights to call out Jadon Sancho on this and say, if he's frustrated, you know what? I've had enough. You know, I've got to say something. It's about, let's say, it's motivation. But over the years, managers have called out players and you get a response. It's happened in every aspect of the game of football. You know what I mean? So he's well within his rights to say what he said about Jadon Sancho. I say, because he is the manager of Manchester United. No player is bigger than Manchester United. That may include the manager, fair enough, but he's well within his rights to say that. You know, he could have said it, he could have put it really nasty if he wanted to, but he said it with respect. And I say, he said it with a calm tone of voice, you know, and he said, look, it's a kick up the ass. Come on, Jadon. Look, if you look, Marcus Rashford last season got dropped because he was late. He got dropped against Wolves and he come on and scored the winner. If you don't follow the rules and you don't follow the discipline and the training regime, and you think you are, but then you got to look at yourself, Jadon. He has bent over backwards for you last year. You took 3 months out. 3 months you went to Holland and you had your personal trainer and you worked and worked and worked and worked. Now, when you came back, there was a little bit of a reaction. You scored against Leeds, banging the badge like that. But where was the rest of you for the rest of the season? You played in an FA Cup final with the rest of the team, and you did fuck all. You didn't do anything like the rest of the team to stop Man City winning the treble. Like I say, below par. And if he's got, like I say, this is why Pep got rid of him. If they seen something at City, this is why Dortmund didn't like his attitude as well. This is why Southgate, this is why Ragnick said it as well. So I say, it's Sancho that's got the problem.
But Andy, we've got to be balanced here, right? Balanced in terms of if Sancho did not believe that he sees Anthony stinking out the fucking place week on and week out, and he's getting picked, and he can't even make it into the squad, he's got every right to defend himself. Sometimes, that to me, the manager, I look at the manager, I think, in this game, this was not the right game to say it. Because to me, it overshadowed all of the different things where Ten Hag, for the first time ever, has come out and said, listen, that was a penalty, that was an onside goal, and that was a red card, right? He then goes on bites, knowing that what the media is like when it comes to Manchester United. To me, you keep it in-house, but bring it out another time. You bring it out another time and go, right, you know what, Jaden, if you're in the squad, sometimes, you know what, players need to be tested. If you don't have the battery, okay, can you show me on the pitch? I remember Carlos Tevez, Saeed and Andy, was one of the worst trainers ever.
Berbatov as well.
Yeah,
Berbatov
Tevez.
as well.
But you put Tevez on that team, bam. And
He
one of the
ran for the
worst things you could call, Andy, listen, you can call a player bottled it, you can call a player's performance bad, but when you say you're not training well, that is a big mark on the professionalism of that player. And you know what the British media is like. They were going to go out there because it sells papers and it does phone-ins.
Also, before, Nuruddin, just quickly before I've got to shoot, but I think also Sancho, he needs to also perform on the football pitch as well.
No, 100%.
Like, I get it.
100%.
You know,
100%.
And this
I
is where
agree with
me,
everything Andy said.
Yeah, you do. I know you do, Nuruddin. I know
trees.
you do. But that's what I'm saying. And this is what doesn't help him. He needs to produce more. I don't think Rashford plays unbelievably well. But what he does is he gets you the goal, he gets you the assist here and there, and he provides for the team. But my thing is, Nordin, what's not helping him, and we're in a generation now where GA is the biggest thing that everybody knows about. You can't play well and not score, and people won't say, you know what, fair play to you, Sancho. They won't do that because we're living in that generation. But I do think for me, he's been here 2 years now. He needs to perform now. Before we talk about the Ten Hag training, he needs to perform now as well. This is almost like last chance saloon. I thought for me, if we got a good offer, we should have sold him. But who am I?
Against Saeed, Andy, I'll say it to you, Saeed. He doesn't rate the player. He doesn't want him. He's not his player.
He probably wants
to play an Anthony. He wants to get rid of him. Remember what the report said when the club briefed all these Muppet journalists? They said 13 players, and all of them is Martial, Maguire, Fred, Scott McTominay, Sancho.
All of them. He was part of it. We need to get that list again. That list needs to come out again. You need to find that list. I don't know if Killers is watching, but that list.
But what I'm saying to you is that who's this fault? So the guy doesn't rate the player. The player's on big wages. Him and his agent are like, we're not going anywhere. And the club don't want to sell him because, again, Glazonomics says it's not about how the player is, the quality of the player. It's on a spreadsheet. So seeing out his contract gives them props in the New York Stock Exchange. That's what it is. So I understand the frustration of Ten Hag, but I also understand the thing. If it's not true, as a player, I have every right to defend my professionalism, right? So to me, I just think he could have done it not after this game. I do not mind players being called out, and they have to grow thick skin, right? You have to be able to grow thick skin.
I've got to shoot.
Big up, big up, Saeed, right? But also, the fact of the matter is, it's the club again, Andy. He said he doesn't want the player. He's got no position for him. When I seen him in pre-season, everybody said Jadon Sancho had a good pre-season. I'm like, what position though? He's playing as a false nine. Manchester United are not looking for a number 9. So where is he going to fucking play when Manchester United get that number 9?
I don't know, mate. Like I say, I'm done with Sancho. You know, if like you say, I'm with his response. Well, this is like dressing room again. This is players who think they are owed a living and owed something by the club to maintain a lifestyle. Oh, it may sound controversial, but I'm going to say it again. I said last night. Too much money, too much time on their hands.
No, you know what I mean? Andy, that could be 100% true. From working class people like me and you, some of those guys are working class, but they've hit the lottery. But I'm telling you, Andy, all of that comes from the top down. The code of conduct, how you behave, how you train. I told people, I keep saying Aaron Wan-Bissaka at Archie's on Oxford Road. Archie's. I'm like, what are you doing at Archie's? This is before Ten Hag came in. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Archie's is a takeaway. It's like a KFC. He's there with his brethren inside. I'm like, what the hell is going on out here? Eric Ten Hag comes in and says, okay, you have to be the certain weight. So at Manchester United, Andy, everybody gets paid. The whole thing is the Glazeronomics is that everybody gets paid. Nobody watches what anybody's doing. Manager comes in, demanding certain standards, puts a code of conduct down. For me, I just didn't appreciate because of all the media circus that brings. Eric Ten Hag could have chosen another time to call the player out. But if that's not true, players got right to come back at it. That's what I believe. But Jadon Sancho is not fancied by the manager. The club should have facilitated him to go and have a loan move. A loan and then to buy out, like buy the contract out like they did with Sanchez. That's what should have happened because he's not his player. He's their right winger and he buys Anthony. That tells you everything you need to know. He is not a guy that was going to play. So at the end of the day, and I look at Jadon Sancho in terms of the frustrations, because I look at Marcus Rashford, I look at Martial, and I look at fucking Anthony, and I'm like, are you pulling up any fucking trees? You're not doing anything. It's frustrating to watch this, but the circus will continue. Big up Divas Valley Arsenal fan getting involved. Rashford, Garnacho, Donny, all called out by the manager, but why Sancho write an essay and some fans back? No, I'm not backing Sancho. I'm backing Eric Ten Hag, but the blame lies with the club. I'm saying to you, as a human being, if somebody calls you out and you believe that's not true, you have the right to reply. But he didn't call out Garnacho. He didn't call. He called out. He brought Rashford in for being late. He came on, but the guy was dropped out of the squad that's been doing shit already. We've not been. That's the best we've played. We've not been playing anything. He got dropped out, and I looked at our bench yesterday in that game. I'm like, fucking hell. Dan Gore, Reguilon, and a substitute goalkeeper who has Palestri. That's the only thing that we had on the bench to change the game. Well, they had Jesus, all these other players to call over to change the game, and they changed the game for them. So for me, I understand. I just think it's not, oh, you're on the manager's side or Sancho's side. I think the timing of it, I didn't like the timing of it. I didn't. Not in a game like that, where there's so many other talking points to come from a game like that. And at the end of the day, Jadon Sancho, I said it on Twitter, his career should be done at Manchester United because now this club should not be looking at and going, oh, we need to prepare Jadon Sancho and the manager to get back to it. No, he should be. There's two windows that are open. It's Turkey and Saudi Arabia. Because I don't want to go through what I went with Jose. I don't want to go through what I went with Oli. When people are breathing again and again and their agents and their friends through the press, I don't want to go through that. We've already got enough problems in our fucking hands at this football club. But all roads lead to where? Glazers. And they ain't going anywhere anytime soon, people, regardless what we say.
Interesting. Norridin. I've just got to say, mate, anything off the pitch will try to hinder us on the pitch this season. And I don't want it to. And it's scary. It's this, let's say, Sancho, as well as Anthony, this could overshadow everything at Man United for the next 2 weeks till the next game. And I don't want it to. I really don't want it to. You say that team should be chomping at the bit now, ready for the next game at Old Trafford. Because you'll have Amrabat, you'll have Hoyland, and you'll have a packed Old Trafford wanting to see these players. Right. You know, maybe some freshness as well. Maybe Ahmed will be on the way back. You got Palestra. Change things up a bit. Give the crowd something to cheer. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's about playing with your emotions with this club, mate. It's emotional blackmail. I mean, I'm sure Jarvis would agree with me as well. No, so it's emotional 100%. Blackmail. They play with you.
100%.
They play with you.
100%. Listen, we are in an abusive relationship with Manchester United. We have been since those vultures took over. We are, because we love the club. They're always going to abuse us. I understand what you're saying, Jarvis. His performance in training. But that is the biggest insult you can throw at a professional footballer. You have to understand that. Players would take criticism of whether their form is whatever. And if he feels that's not true, the player has the right to reply. But I don't want it in public. All of this could have been sorted. And really, big clubs, these things are sorted behind the scenes. But it's there again, like Andy said. This thing with Anthony now. Are we set for another thing now where police are getting involved? So he might be arrested now. Is that what we're dealing with? Because she's showing photos of her both fingers wrapped up.
It's supposed to be video as well, mate. And that hasn't been released yet. I've
For
read
me,
some of the
it
allegations.
was always going to come to a head when I saw Jadon Sancho playing as a false nine, and my brain says to me, "Why are you playing false nine? When a striker comes in, you're not in the manager's plans." And as somebody who works at the club here said to me a couple of weeks ago, Ten Hag is testing Sancho. Well, looks like the test is fucking failed. He said he's starting Garnacho because Garnacho's not ready. We know that he's not ready to start games because what he does outside of the when he's not on the ball is what determines it. What he does outside of the ball, right? And he's not ready. He's the impact player at the moment. But for me, there are deeper things in the issues. But you know, a manager comes in, they give a manager a job, but they don't give him the power to do what he does. The Maguire and the McTominay, 60 million for them both, Andy. 60 million for them both.
I know. I find it amazing because with that 60 million, you could have got Amrabat. You could have got another striker in as well. You could have got a late striker. Anything.
Could have signed Kim Min-jae.
Well, this club, mate, it'll kill you.
And the biggest thing for me is that now there's a window open, Turkish window and a Saudi Arabian window. If somebody comes in with a big wage, you know what, Jadon, it's been a pleasure. See you later. Because I'm not going through the thing again and to understand. For me, a manager has to go and live by die by what his convictions are. But I do not want, for the rest of the season, Jadon's camp, Ten Hag and the club, because the club don't give a damn anyway. They like the drama. We've got a fucking CEO, Andy, who says we like it when we trend on socials because it attracts people to the club.
Can you imagine what we would trend if we won stuff and we had a great team?
But these clowns
It will be beyond their dreams. It really would. I go back to last May, mate. Man City win the treble within 24 hours. It's all about us and Qatar. That's why United came out with that story to cheer the United fans up. You know, because we've got to fight back on this. And you come out with that. This is what they do. If you were absolutely well endowed and well, respected, and you will put all your effort into on the pitch, Man United would be the best run club in the world on the pitch. We would be number one in social media and on the pitch, but we're not. And I say that's the way society is now with this club. Just clicks.
And this is it. I'm telling you, they love it. They love it. When I posted a thing the other day where Kobe Manu, because all of the fans are like, oh, Kobe Manu's our savior. Manchester United fans have been conditioned to love a savior and to scapegoat somebody for all the problems at the football club, other than the owners. And when I said that Bruno interacting with Kobe was to get the fans up because we've had a poor start to the season, people were like, that's a true conspiracy. I'm like, I showed a video, big up Khalis Romadi Lassie. We found a video where the guy's telling you, Andy, yes, we look at what's trending and then we look at what player the fans are all right with, and then we then do it through them.
And guess who was the one who tweeted it? Gary Neville. Gary Neville put that out there. If you go and look for it, Gary Neville sent that tweet out about that, and you see that interview. It's there. It's there in social media, like everything else out there. You know what I mean? It's there.
I mean, look at here, mate. We might look called Greater Manchester Police FC. Anthony's ex-girlfriend, Gabriella Cavalian, says Man UFC and Manchester Police are in talks with her lawyer.
Doesn't look good, mate. I say, I've heard there's alleged video. I've heard that his mother and stepdad had to protect the girlfriend as well. So if these allegations, this is what scares me. You know, Man United either suspend him or they'll look the other way, like the party at Arsenal. They'll look the other way and tried, this is not on our jurisdiction. This is Brazil, but now it's come to the shores of Manchester. So
what happened here because it took place here. That's what they're saying. And apparently she's got a video. Big up Madhouses. I blame Rock on Gibraltar. Well, that film one day will be made. Because our fans do the Glazers dirty work. They focus on manager getting sacked instead of the real problems. I wish we had so much energy for the Glazers like we have for the Green. Listen, it is, at the end of the day, it's the same thing for me. Like, all of these issues do not arise because there's a family culture, like Saeed was saying. Like, there's a family culture, a code of conduct. There are things that players there, leaders, real bloody leaders, have on the football pitch and off the pitch. And everybody's saying, you know what, do not bring the club into dispute. Don't do anything that brings the club into dispute. But no,
it's okay to be a failure. That's what it is. It's okay just to work for a week, pick up your wages, play your game, and go home. That's what it is. It's not about winning anymore at the club. Unfortunately, they will try to promote this and say we are, but if you're not backing a manager, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
It's simple. He wanted to get rid of all these players, and now the problems with the players who are disgruntled, who know that they're not. That's what it is. That's what it is. And now the camp, there's going to be two camps, like it was under Oli at the end, like it was under Jose at the end. Like, you know what I mean? There'll be two camps, and now they'll be like, oh yeah, that
this needs to be nipped in the bud straight away. You either reconcile with each other, and they are, you know, everyone's handshakes, fair enough, or you get rid of Sancho. Right here, right now. In the next 10 days, you get rid of him. You ship him off to Turkey or Saudi Arabia, or you let him rot in the reserves. Because Ronaldo, Harry Maguire, David De Gea, Ten Hag has dealt with everything, and he's dealt with it impeccably, and he's doing what's best for it of the club. And if you don't want to follow his code of conduct, you are finished.
That's it. That's it to me. That's it. But he told the club he doesn't want the player. But what did the club do? He's got to stay, to Eric. He's got to stay. We paid a lot of money for him. It looked bad for us on the books, Eric. It looked bad on the books because that means we wasted that money, and then that means our stock trade is gonna hit the bin. That's what's gonna happen. He's got to stay. How can you force players on manager? How can you do that? What do you expect to happen? Players are going to be frustrated because they're not playing. Manager's going to be frustrated because he doesn't want them there. That's going to come to a head. Not in a stable football club where we've got all sorts of abuse allegations. By the way, is anybody suffering with abuse? There are helplines in the UK that you can go and ask because abuse is serious. Nobody here, we don't condone any abuse of any sort. We're not minimizing it. Loads of men and women, loads of women in generally, suffer from abuse. And there is help out there. There are help out there. So we're not minimizing. I want people to make that clear to people. There are helplines out here for people who are suffering in abuse. We're not minimizing it. We're just saying we don't move and act like a professional football club. There is nothing professional about the way Manchester United move. And we were the standard bearer. The standard bearer, Andy. We were the standard bearers. That's who we were. Standard bearers. Players like Cantona would get away with not wearing a suit and a tie because they were mavericks. Fergie would recognize that and go, you know, if you're scoring on Saturday, you could wear whatever you want, pal. We're not that club anymore.
Yeah, we're not.
We're a club where everybody comes to get paid. Agents, friends, everybody comes to get paid. And we've got bankers who are in charge, who don't give a damn, who don't know nothing about football culture. And we've got now people having a title, Andy, as the director of football, without being allowed to do their job. When you ever go to a job, Andy, where you're not allowed to do your job, you've been hindered to do your job and take that and take the hit. Get the hell out. And look at it, what he said word for word. He said he likes transfer speculations because of social media interactions. He likes them, how modern world is interacting. This is your CEO who tried to sneak Greenwood through the back door without explaining the footage, without explaining the audio. He tried to sneak that. Remember that. Remember that. And he likes to distance himself away from Woodward, but he was there with Woodward for a decade.
Was, mate. That's it, basically.
Big up, everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Andy, big up, love and light, bro. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We move. But if we've got Evans and Maguire against Brighton and Bayern Munich, God help us. We're living on a prayer, mate. If we have those two, we've got, remember, Andy, and now we kick off the Champions League, mate. We play the next two games. It's Brighton at home and Bayern Munich away in the Champions League. And if we have Evans and Maguire, it's all you need to know. All you need. You don't have to ever watch Manchester United. You don't have to know about the Anthony situation, the Greenwood situation, the Sancho situation. All you have to do is turn it on and go, those two at the back.
You never know. If Martinez, I think Martinez will be back. And maybe, just maybe, Varane might even make the bench. So you don't know yet. It's a long way away, that game. It's a long way. It's still, like I say, 2 and a bit weeks away, maybe 3. So it's just hang fire. It may not come to that Norridin.
Andy, I'm afraid of that. I promise you, I'm afraid. I'm afraid because you know what? I've been there with this football club, Andy. Andy, let the people know what you're up to, man. When you go in live again, when you're on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Man United agenda tonight, 8:30. I'm busy by tonight. I'm going to be on MU Realist TV about 9:30 as well. So just got enough time for a brew and a cheeky biscuit. Then that's it. It's a quiet week. So next weekend, I'm going to be watching some non-league football. You still keep the mind going watching some football. So yeah. So I'm not interested in England. So done. So yeah.
Oh, hey, Southgate. You don't like a bit of Southgate, Andy? Hey.
No, mate. I'm done with England, mate. They had the chances. They could have had 2 World Cup finals and win a Euros, and that would have been. I say that will never happen again in my lifetime. That was it. The chance was gone. So that's it.
Bottle job FC. Listen, we go again, guys. We go again. 2 weeks break. Take it easy. Look after yourselves. Look after your mental health because this club will ruin you, like Andy said. Will mess with you. We're in an abusive relationship, people. We are. And we're not making a joke of that. Mental and emotionally, I'm cycling. I'm doing something. I'm thinking, Manchester United again. I get the notification. I go, what the hell is going on this time? So it's what it is. Go and check out Andy on the United Agenda and make sure you check out Jarvis and make sure you check out Mick on Man UFC Realist TV at 9 as well. I'm going to be jumping onto Premsy TV now and then maybe Alice then Premsy TV. So big up, love and light, people. Take care. Peace. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Absolute murder madness crew. Absolute clowns out as well. Don't do a job if you haven't got the power to do your job. Get the hell out with that murder madness.
Hey,
absolute laughing stock.
Remember, guy, the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.
Well, we've been pissed off for 18 years, Andy. It's been a long time, 20 years, Andy. Glazers out. Glazers out. Peace, love and light. Big up, Andy. Go and check Andy Tate out. The real Andy Tate on Instagram. Go and check him out. Check the real Andy on Instagram. Not that other Andy Tate.
I haven't got no nunchuckers. Sorry, man.
Oh, pizza boxes. Yeah, I got to hear that. He likes the pizza box. Not that the Romanian pizza. Peace, love and light. Take care. What it says here, the mix says, I'd rather play Eric Bailly, who's on his books, than Everton Maguire. Of course. Eric, you know what I want to say about Eric Bailly? He was a lunatic. He's a lunatic footballer, but at least he gives you something. He makes you laugh. He does something in the game to make you laugh. It is what it is, man. Like, subscribe. Take care. Peace, love, and light. Nice one.